Hello, Christina Moore. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you?
I'm great, Claire. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
I am too, because I'm so excited to share your journey and your growth with everybody because it is, I always love to do offense instead of defense, and you are one of the most prepared women I think I've ever known. I mean, if I could go back and say, I always like to live without regret. But if I could go back, I think I would say I would love to do things the way Christina Moore has done them.
I've just failed a lot of times, so I keep learning after all my failures. In fourth grade, I did the speech once, and it was so great. And I reflected on it, and I thought it was great because I prepared.
Mhm.
And in all the other speeches I did, I kind of winged it. And my personality allows me to wing things.
Yeah,
Yet I'm not living to my highest, best version of myself when I wing it.
right, right. That's such wisdom that we all should better prepare. And I can, in saying that, I can look back at listing appointments that
Yeah.
have gone on and say to myself, you know what? If I would have only prepared a little bit more, then that objection would have been handled much more smooth and things of that nature. And or I could have gotten the price reduction better had I prepared better in the listing appointment.
Right.
Things of that nature.
I found that to be very true with studying the market and really knowing the market, especially because I feel like we're competing more to get listings. And to be the economist of choice, we now spend an hour or two just on diving into their pre-qualification, the market analysis, their expectations in the realtor they hire, because if we're not 100% and we're competing, we're losing, and we really want to win. We don't want to waste our time going on the appointments unless we win.
Right. Absolutely. That's such wisdom. Love that. So we're going to go into your journey a little bit, just like we do with everyone else, which is so great. So tell us a little bit about who is Christina Moore?
Well, I've been a realtor for 13 years. It's been my only job since college. I was a student athlete at Boise State and got into real estate through a family I babysat for. They were two top producing realtors, and I was their transaction coordinator. If they had done the career visioning process, they would have not hired me as a transaction coordinator. And I learned a lot, and they were also athletes, so they taught me the way I like to learn.
Yeah.
We were a small brokerage, so I quickly realized I just want to sell real estate because I saw their commissions coming in, and I saw the couple $100 I was getting per transaction, and so I decided I'm 22, I'm awesome, you know how a 22-year-old think, and I can just do
Save
this
the world.
myself. Yeah. So that was a hard lesson because I realized that the time it takes to get a buyer or seller, because I would just see it once they gave me the file and I took it to close. I thought that's what real estate was. But the time it takes to get a buyer or seller could be years. I always tell my team, I got injured 7 times. We went to the physical therapist 7 times to get one referral from him. That took 2 years, 8 marathons. Like that was a lot of investment to get one client. And finally he sends his business. So that was the learning process, was the sales or the client, acquiring the client process. That was the hardest challenge at a young age. And then I became the top producer at that little office. I sold $4 million, and I thought I was awesome. So there was some ego. And then the market, the next year was the bottom of our market. And that's when I call it the rice and beans era.
Yes.
And Lane and I learned how to live very frugally through the market crash and survive, although surviving's not so great, but we survived. And that's when I moved to Keller Williams after 5 months, no income. And I had wrote my resume. I was ready to go get a real job. And KW taught me how to lead generate. And
Through gold.
Through both. Yeah. So after the 5 months of no sales, I had one sale, 75,000. So no one in front of it. 75000 times 3%. I took that money. I paid for bold. They made me do the contacts. I did all the 800 contacts to my sphere, and then that June sold 7 houses in a month. And then history has happened. I've done bold 13 times, and it keeps getting better.
Yeah. And your GCI just continues to double almost. I mean, it's just insane. Like, what were your numbers last year?
We did 149 units. 84% was referral. or repeat, referral or repeat.
Right.
And I do Bold every year. So the best month I've ever had was 19, and that was right after Bold. I call it the Bold bump.
Yeah, I tell people that all the time. The fruits of Bold are always the following quarter after Bold. It's huge. It is huge.
Yeah.
It is one of the best programs I've ever taken. But I mean, it's truly a business program. As soon as you start looking at real estate as a business and then applying those techniques, it is amazing the way your lid will truly open. So I think that's fantastic because you've really done that. You, early in the career, you started leveraging a lot, which has paid off for how you have been able to build your family life and leverage yourself. So tell us a little more about that.
Well, I feel pretty lucky or fortunate to have started leveraging before the family happened. And we did, I was considered a high risk pregnancy this last time because I was over 35 when I had my baby, my second baby. And when I had the first baby a few years ago, we did 94 units, and I had 2 admin assistants, and my husband had joined me in a buyer's agent. So we are pretty well, not totally leveraged because I'm still the point person today on the team, but at least I'm not out showing homes on evenings and weekends. And that has been the most amazing thing to have going into having Spencer, my first child. He's 3.5. And I took a 3-month maternity leave. And I'm very proud of that. And I'm saying it because I hope that there's other women watching that could be pregnant or wanting to have kids and afraid of what will happen to their business. And who cares? I mean, I would be fine if this business fell apart. I know I can rebuild it. It's not going to kill anybody, it's just going to fall apart.
Right.
I'm okay being fired. I was actually fired a couple times after Spencer was born. There just wasn't that systems in place. Now there's better communication systems in place. We learned a lot through those challenges. But I did not get dressed or go to the office for the first 3 months since Spencer's been born.
Yeah.
And then also I haven't gone back to working full time since both babies have been born. So I only go to the office 3.5 days a week.
Yeah, you've been able, time is our most precious commodity, and you've been able to leverage your time because you took the necessary steps in the beginning of your career to really value the leverage and how to build out your team properly. And so let's go back to, what is your purpose?
Well,
what is the one thing?
What's my one thing? Well, I feel like that's maybe 2 different answers. My one thing, the things that start my day for personally, is exercise. I feel like my exercise is my personal domino. It gets me going. It gets me happy. It got me in the office very early in the morning before my kids were born, got me lead generating early. Exercise has been life-changing. And when you hear that people that are smarter than me about health and wellness, they say eating food is way more important than exercise. I believe that exercise is our domino to eating good food.
Okay.
So even though some people say 80% food, 20% exercise, 80-20 rule, but exercise causes us, in my opinion, to make better choices. And then that kind of goes into our business life. And then business is lead generation. That's my one thing still. Everybody I meet, everybody I talk to, I'm always coming from contribution and asking for referrals. I'm asking for the business.
Right. Because your one thing will make all the choices from there on out. And so then I go to the next question of, what is your priority?
Priority is the family. And family gets me going fast. I run to the bathroom. I run from the parking lot to the office. I've only got this time that my nanny comes between like 9 and 4 or 5 p.m. to get so much work done. When I used to produce this much real estate, I was working 80 hours a week. Now I only have 30. So I am going fast and thinking of the most important things because family is my priority. And as far as purpose, I just want to get better every day. I love watching others get better and reach their highest form of self. And it gives me so much, it gets me so excited when I see my team members reaching their highest potential. And I want that about me. So I'm constantly evaluating what we are doing right and wrong and how we can get better. And that's all through systems and models. That's why I love Keller Williams, is the systems and models.
I'm hearing that you really did all this before you had children. And so by the time you had children, it was all in place so that you were able to take 3 months off.
And then 3 months again. Yeah, and then 3 months again with Emma when Emma was born 9 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I want to get real perspective around this, Christina. I'm serious, darling, because when I had a baby, 2 days after coming home, I was at a listing appointment.
Yeah.
Women in our industry do not do this. We don't have the luxury of taking off. And it's unfortunate we don't think about it. The millennial generation truly needs to hear your story and be very clear about it. You got your stuff together real early, prepared for your future, figured out that purpose, and got clarity on it, ironed it out so that when time came, you were done. You were able to take off. It wasn't an issue, and you had those priorities.
Yeah. No, it hasn't been pretty. You know, it's not. Everyone looks at me and says, "Oh, how nice! Like she doesn't work a lot and she makes lots of money." And it's, you know, my brain never stops. So it's not like I only work 30 hours a week. I work every waking hour, and then usually when I'm sleeping too, because I'm thinking about people and everybody. And I went to a class, and it wasn't a Keller Williams class. It was like an author. I can't remember his book. Making Money is Killing Your Business. Making Money is Killing Your Business. It's a really interesting author guy. And I said, I was pregnant, and I said, I've got this he was talking about deadlines and how powerful deadlines are. And I said, I've got a real deadline. I have a baby coming.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to go back. It's not going to go away. Sorry, this deadline's coming.
It's coming. And my work was my baby at that time. So it was really hard for me to think about removing myself. And I know a lot of women feel this way, of removing ourselves from it and letting go of the control. And I have a lot of control problems. That's probably my biggest challenge right now is my control problem. And I'm getting better every day, better and better every day. And he said to just think about one thing every day between now and the deadline to have somebody else do. So my one thing from then until baby Spencer came was, what's one thing that I'm doing right now that I shouldn't even be doing? Right. And then what's really cool is that when I did the same thing when I was pregnant with Emma, I only had 20 things that I do for my job because I had already leveraged so much before Spencer came. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, what else should I leverage? You know, like there's only 20 things here, but what else could I have somebody else do? And then it gives you so much peace to only worry about one thing at a time instead of like, oh my gosh, there's so much in my head and there's so much to teach somebody else and it's impossible to get it all done. And so just focus on the one.
So when agents are preparing to go on vacation, that's how we should do that.
Same thing.
Think of one thing every day that you should not be doing that you can give away.
That you shouldn't be doing anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And this could be also, you know, maybe there are people watching that have a goal to go on a month vacation with their family and they're afraid of what that would do. Or maybe it's to take a whole summer off with your kids because they're older now and they're not going to want to hang out with you in the future. You know, like it could be.
Well, this is also how the agent leverages and moves up to 7th level. Mm-hmm. This is also how the agent lets go of control and hires other team members. Mm-hmm. You let go of those responsibilities and you pass them along. Mm-hmm. It's the same principle, but this is where you have prioritized it for your family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think I would have prioritized it so much because I love real estate so much and I love people if it wasn't for my family. I could almost get emotional thinking about that right now, like how much they've changed my life. I have the most amazing husband, and he lets me do whatever I want to do. He let me work all the time, and he just fed me food and did the grocery shopping and cleaned the house and did everything else so I could go sell more real estate because I love people and love selling real estate.
Right.
And I don't think that would have lasted forever. You know, there would have been a burnout or, you know, that's not enough purpose. And so I'm really grateful to have the family to cause me to be more purposeful.
Right. So when I think of, when anybody mentions Christina Moore, what are they going to think of?
I want them to think of me as a teacher and a coach and a trainer, someone that focuses on the basics, because my business is all referral and it's a big business on referral. So I want to be the specialist at helping people grow a big business by referral. And that's not a passive business. I think that's where some people think referrals are passive. Mine is an aggressive business where we lead generate referrals.
Very good. Very good. And so Gary Keller says that you're only 5 years away from where you really want to be. So where are you in 5 years?
Well, probably the biggest challenge I have right now is that I am the central point person to my team. And, you know, my husband is taking on the listing side, and we've got these amazing buyer's agents and an amazing admin department, and they all come to me. So if you're looking at, you know, Gary Keller telling me that I have a centralized business, not a decentralized business. So my goal in 5 years is to have a decentralized business, 3 amazing leaders, the way that he says I'm supposed to do it, and potentially even someone that's taking on my role as the leadership role, the CEO of the team, and I'm out doing teaching and presenting. My
Very
favorite.
Good. Excellent. You totally would rock that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then also, I think even though I'm taking more time at home, my other challenge is being present, and I really want to be where I am. And I feel like it's not serving my clients or my family if my brain is all over the place. So my goal, even sooner than 5 years from now, my priority right now is to be where I am. And I want to be with my kids and not have to worry about phone calls or negotiation or 11 offers like I just dealt with this morning. I'm really excited to have people better than me doing those things.
I don't know that they're better than you.
Oh, yeah. They're better than me.
Okay. Wow. And then what is the legacy? What is the legacy of Christina Moore?
Gosh, that question probably made me think the most. And I really love to see others do things that they didn't even know they were capable of. Because for me, like this, I didn't know it's possible to sell 150 homes when I moved to Keller Williams.
Right.
And I just had my one mentor at the little brokerage I was in, and he was amazing. And it's been so, my ceiling has been risen, my lid has been risen to create a life that I couldn't imagine. And then to be a part of that, to help others create lives they couldn't imagine.
Right.
And then we get to,
isn't it an amazing feeling?
It is.
Yeah.
And then we get to go give and help people and not worry and be abundant. And it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. The heart of a giver is always good to see, and you definitely have that. And I love it. It's palpable. So thank you always for sharing. And I love what you're doing in Boise. Love what you're doing for your family and how you've found your purpose. You're prioritizing that, and your production is obvious because of it. Love you sharing your one thing. Thank you for being here today, and I can't wait to see you soon.
You're amazing. Thank you for making such a huge impact on women's lives.
Oh.
And I can tell, even just a little bit that we've gotten to know you, that it's making you the better version of yourself. Like you, yeah, because people are watching you, you're like, well, gosh, I better step it up.
Yes, I do feel that. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I got to dress for it today.
Yeah. Well, and your outsides match your insides too. And that's something I've learned from amazing women at Keller Williams, is that we all have this amazing inside. And then when we shine, it's a little bit, it comes from inside, but it's external. And
it does. And I can tell you that that is solely attributed to who you surround yourself with. And the amazing people, I won't just say women, because there are men too within this company who are so kind and so open and caring and generous and have poured themselves into me as well. And I have just clung to every conversation and grown from it and journaled and just continued to read. And this company is truly amazing. So the vision is that this will be the company of choice for women in every way.
I want to see more women on stage with Gary Keller too. I'm super excited about the women that have built these big, amazing businesses. 500 units, 1,000 units, and I can't wait to see more women up there. Not that I'm okay to learn from a man, but I'll be very extra loud for all the women that
I want to see more women in every aspect.
Yeah.
Of Keller Williams, of Max, of everything.
Mm-hmm.
the company as a whole. This will be the company of choice for women, period.
Mm-hmm.
That is the vision in all aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So I love what everybody brings to the table. I
Yeah.
love the way they share. You know, I shared with you, I've still never met Linda McKissick, yet the conversation opened my lid, and then I went and bought investment property.
Last weekend, you bought an investment property.
I bought it this weekend.
You better thank Linda for that. That is amazing.
Oh, I've written her a letter. Yes.
That is
absolutely.
So cool. I'm reading a really, really amazing book that you need to be reading. It just reminds, I was listening to it yesterday and it reminds me of you. I'm listening to the book and our ALC is reading it. It's called it's Oprah's book. It's called The Wisdom of Sundays. Have you read that?
I haven't.
Life-changing insights from Super Soul Conversations. So it's her interviews with top authors, and it's a lot around spirituality. But what I think out of it is all the, everybody's talking about being present and some tools around being present. And I feel our brains are wired as women to be going a million miles an hour. And then we're not ever, and then all of a sudden our kids are 18 and we don't know what happened.
They've grown, yeah.
And so one thing that I'm working on since reading the book, and I've taken this in a parenting class, is to do 5 minutes of special time with my kids, because the parenting class is teaching me that it's not about creating this perfect day of like amazing presence and being a perfect mother.
Yeah.
They have taught me to have 5 minutes and to say that front to Spencer and Emma and say, okay, especially Spencer because he's 3 and he gets it and he's a 3-nager. So I say to him, okay, I've got 5 minutes for you. It's special time. What would you like to do? And I'm not supposed to have an agenda. I'm not supposed to lead him in the direction that I want to lead him in. It's whatever he wants. And so you almost do it up front for them.
Right.
And then they end up being better kids all day long, just from that 5 minutes.
Oh, sure.
And couldn't we do that with our team members too?
Oh, well, and that goes back to reading the 5 love languages and having every member of your team read that as well, so that you know how to address them, affirm them in every way. There's also the 5 love languages for your children, so that you may do that with them as well. So that I know that one of my children reaches better with touch, so that if I go and sit with her on the couch and just put my hand on her, it means more to her than me verbally affirming her. And my son has a love language of time. And so if I invite him to come and sit with me in the kitchen while I cook dinner, or if I go and sit with him on the couch, or if I go sit with him while he does his homework, spending that time with him means more to him than anything. So if you know the ways of the communication of your children, you will communicate with them on a higher level. And it's the same way with your team members. We all want to look right. We all want to look good and be right. Yeah. And so that is another way of communicating that with your children just at a higher level. And you do the same thing with your team members. Absolutely.
You're amazing. Thank you.
I just appreciate all of you. And the more that I can give back, the better it does. It helps my lid as well.
Yes, it does. I can see it.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. You're awesome.
Just let that domino fall all week long.
Yeah, go exercise. Woohoo!
I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.